wants us to do now. Officially.
We're live now.
All right.
Welcome to the pregame show
For Friday Night Fish Talk. How y'all doing today?
What's going on? We are at a very special place tonight.
It's definitely not the studio that we're used to.
Pretty sweet studio,
I kind
though.
of like it, though.
Absolutely. Are we allowed to say yet where we're at?
Yes.
We are at Bush Home Services
One
in
and only.
Homosassa. Is that how they pronounce it?
Somewhere in
How many times has someone asked you, and they feel like super embarrassed, like, so is it Homosa?
Homosassa?
Homo's ass But this is one of like the coolest cooking like showrooms I think that I've ever been to, honestly.
Absolutely. I mean,
All
some
kinds of awesome
pretty
stuff.
sweet man cave toys in here.
I was expecting, big green eggs, and which wait till you see that showroom.
That's some big.
But they have
green
all
eggs.
kinds of stuff. They have a grill over there that has like some sort of TV monitor in it.
Yeah, all digital display. It's pretty wild. Some pretty cool stuff up here. Y'all should probably come check out.
Yeah. So
Tempted to take
has
some of it home.
a built-in Simrad. All right, guys. So
Inside
pre-game
joke.
show. You can ask whatever you'd like. We could talk about fishing reports, or we could talk about whatever you want.
Whatever
So ask away,
is what we are here to do.
and we will answer truthfully and
Yeah,
somewhat. We'll at least make something up good.
yeah. We'll have an answer for you.
Once everybody starts logging on, then we'll get into the real show. We've got a good show tonight I'm super excited about. Captain Zach is actually running a little behind, so he'll
Had
show
a busy
up.
day on the water.
Yes, he did. But it was pretty good out there. Scallops seem like they're going back inshore again.
Yeah, being out there on the airboat looking out, it seemed like everybody wasn't, but maybe a mile and a half, 2 miles away.
Nice. Fishing has been insane.
Yes.
Redfish.
Yes, absolutely.
Redfish, redfish,
Monstrous schools of
redfish.
redfish out there. Still finding piles of snook out there. And the reef is hot right now.
Reef is hot. Water temperatures aren't crazy high. Maybe some rain has helped with that. So I think I saw this morning, it was
It's like high 80s, wasn't
yeah,
it?
86, and then coming in was 89. So,
Yeah.
alrighty. So we do have a question. What is the recommended type of boat that can be multifunctional as far as type of fishing and on a budget?
When thinking of that, looking around at all the guides of what everybody's using, at least started out with, that haven't, done some major spending, the old Carolina skiff.
Yeah.
I mean, anything from 19 to 24, whatever your budget's willing to afford. I mean, even the J16 is fun to play in.
One thing I learned, once you really breach over the 19.8, like when you get into the 21 foot,
Yeah.
and especially the 24, and then God forbid you get into a 28, once you get into that 21 foot, the price does go up.
Oh
big
yeah,
time.
it's a big jump.
It is a big jump. But I've ran 19.8, the start of my guide
Quite a few
career,
years.
and I grouper fished out of it and
Yeah, we
did
did
everything.
some pretty silly stuff. Anything from running out to 40 foot of water and different pick of the days to running in about 4 to 6 inches of water.
What I like about the Carolina skiff is you can customize it, right? What I always recommend, especially if you always plan on having a load of people or even 2-3 people, get that console back as far as possible.
Open up that deck space.
Open the deck space. You can put benches in there and
Yeah.
run it as a family boat. Go down to the springs.
Do highly recommend getting a jack plate for it if you're going to end up doing that.
Yes.
Especially if you plan on fishing the flats.
Yeah.
Because those low tides get shallow.
And then with the Carolina skiffs, there's different models. I'm a DLX guy. I like
Yep.
the early 2000s. My favorite hull. I know the later hulls, they ran into some delaminating issue, or the newer hulls.
Yeah, the newer ones.
So hopefully they're working on that.
Didn't hear that out of the DLVs or anything else. It seemed to be the DLX version that
the
had
new
that
ones.
issue. Yeah.
Gotcha. But besides that, any aluminum boat, I think, CRs, we talked about this last week before.
Yep.
The only thing with aluminum boat in our area, don't forget it's real shallow.
Yeah.
So aluminum boats make a lot of noise.
A lot of noise. Get into that chop, you get a lot of slap out of it. I mean, Carolina will too, but it just doesn't echo the same as an aluminum boat.
And try to find someone that has some experience before you go buy a used boat. There's a bunch of different things to look for.
Absolutely.
Up in the front of a Carolina skiff, get under there, feel up, make sure there's no give to the floor, bounce
Yeah.
around inside.
On the aluminum side, make sure there's no corrosion going on. Electrolysis can be pretty brutal on some of those boats.
Absolutely.
So there is ups and downs to everything you look for. I can guarantee that. But between those two, if you're on a budget, those are what personally I'd be looking for.
I agree. Any other questions before we get started? No.
Maybe wants to know if you're cold.
If I'm cold?
He's hooded.
Yeah, I'm hood. I was just showing off our new hooded OKM shirts.
Pretty nice. I
Yep.
enjoy the heck out of mine on the airboat.
So, oh, this one.
I was going to say, showing off the stains you already put on it.
Yeah, I know. That's why I got it wrinkled right here. All right, well, let's get on with the show then.
Live, Louie, look alive.
Welcome to Friday Night Fish Talk at Bush Home Services.
Love this place.
So excited. So
Yeah.
we're going to show you around here in a little bit, but we're quick. Want to introduce Captain Billy Fender,
Oh, Captain Gary Bartell.
and then we got Captain Louie over there with Florida Fishing Adventures at the Tackle Table Talk presented by Bush Home Services at Bush Home Services.
Bada bang.
So excited to say that.
Mouthful.
Oh, a lot of bush in there.
A lot of bush.
A lot of bush.
So, all right. Well, I tell you what, guys. So, like I said, we are going to walk around here in a little bit. We're going to be talking with the sales manager, Pat Sanders, about Bush Home Services. But before we get into that, and before we get into fishing,
Yep.
like we like to talk about on Friday Night Fish Talk, first,
sense.
let's talk about what's going on in Homosassa.
We're talking about this very serious mess that we have running off into our waterways here.
That's it. I mean, we, you know, that says it right there. That's the Citrus County Concurrent.
Yeah.
What's next for Homosassa? And a lot of people want to know.
It's a massive question.
It's a massive question.
Yep.
A lot of people want to know, and more importantly, a lot of people deserve to know. So,
100%. How are we going to get this resolved ASAP? Because, I mean, any more of these big rainstorms that we have, it's going to be catastrophic for our waterways. It's not going to be good.
I mean, you know what? A lot of people keep saying to me, you know, Gary, it's normal to send rainwater in a river.
Yeah.
But that's not the case. This is unfiltered, untreated rain or stormwater runoff off of an asphalt road
Major highway.
that gets driven over 79,000 times a week
Yeah.
or a day. And I mean, oils, Armor all of that is
Yep.
hitting that asphalt, and then it's getting pushed to these ponds and then
Directly ran off into the rivers.
into the river. So
Yeah.
we are finding out more and more every single time that we look into this, and there was a big meeting this morning.
Yeah, I heard it was a pretty good turnout.
It was. So it was supposed to be a meeting with Swiftmud and FDOT, and then myself and my mama. And I could not be there, so my mom had the idea, why not have, we'll call them culprits,
Yep.
why not have those culprits meet with the people that have to see this every single day?
Yeah, let's call in the whole neighborhood.
Whole neighborhood, the army.
Yep, multiples of the neighborhoods actually. It was a pretty awesome idea Mom came up with.
It was, and I honestly I feel bad for those gentlemen because there were some very angry people, but deservingly they should be angry,
Absolutely.
and this should be fixed. I feel like we're making good headway. We're starting to see, you know, backtracking for those of you that don't really haven't been following this. You know, it started out with FDOT denying
Yeah, this wasn't even happening. That's just spring water pouring
That's
off
just
into
spring
the
water.
wall.
It's always been like that.
Yeah.
Then it turned into FDOT being quoted by saying, well, it's not really it's not a direct, it's more of a indirect,
Yeah.
but it's kind of direct.
It's rather direct.
It's direct. I mean, that was
Yeah.
in the notice of violation from SwiftMud, direct.
Yeah.
So we did get some support from SwiftMud, but it seems like recently SwiftMud has
Fallen off of it.
fallen off of it. I don't know. They don't seem like they're real motivated anymore. I feel like they're more motivated to protect FDOT and this major screw up that is polluting and ruining
Absolutely.
our waterways. So
Yep, the amount of oil as you can walk in, just checking out what we got to see, there is so much fuel and oil that literally just sitting on the surface and you just watch all the runoff below it. I mean, the amount of contamination that's just running directly into the Halls River is rather sickening.
yeah. And Billy, what should a river temperature, a spring-fed river temperature be, like at the spring areas?
At the spring's going to be anywhere from 72, 73 degrees.
Yeah,
maybe at the surface where, if the spring's 10 foot down and you're at the surface, 74-ish.
Yeah.
But that's maximum.
Sean, can we throw those photos up with the temperature gun? This is something that Billy and I wanted to do on the way here. I can't quite see that photo. Is that the 90-degree one? All right, so that is right before it enters the Halls River at 90 degrees.
Less than 100 yards from its entering, and it is directly flowing to the Halls River.
Directly.
Yep, our childhood backyard.
90-degree water.
Yep.
This one is going to, I think this is off the Kingston one,
Yes.
88 degrees.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
That's a quite a bit drastic change in temperatures when you're pouring that directly into a river that is supposed to be and used to be 72 to 74 degrees.
Our cool waters, our spring-fed waters, 7 different rivers produces that 72-degree water. We have 7 outstanding Florida waterways.
Yeah.
They're there for a reason. We've always had a clean ecosystem for a reason. We've always had a pristine river system for a reason. Mm-hmm. This is ruining it. This is going to be, if this continues, and you guys can quote me, this will be the cause of catastrophic happenings for our rivers, for our Gulf, for our wildlife. Guys, we need to stop this now.
Yep.
Go follow the Stand Up for the Outstanding, Save the Halls River Facebook page.
Yeah.
Tons of information on there. We post the sheet of all the different people you can contact. We got to keep on pushing. We got to keep putting the pressure on. We've got a lot of big moves coming up.
Let them know we haven't forgotten.
Yep. So we want to keep you all updated on those as well, because our rivers need our help.
Absolutely. Not going to fix themselves.
That's it. That being said, Billy, let's go ahead and get into some fishing.
I'm excited for fishing.
Yep. Like we said, it's been a hell of a week.
Very nice week, actually. Quite a few overslot fish being caught right now. It's pretty funny watching everybody having a hard time catching something in slot. It's a good sight.
It is a good sight. But, I mean, there's been some nice slot fish being brought in. Trout, they're coming back pretty heavily. And we've got a start of a season coming up, and that's actually tonight's focus.
It's like a big striped bass, isn't it?
Yeah, I think they're called a striper. Pretty sure you use a downrigger to get them.
Yeah.
So we've got the common snook. That is tonight's focus, is common snook. So snook season does start September 1st.
A couple weeks away.
And these snook have been very plentiful.
A lot.
So
a lot of snook.
We're going to be talking with Captain Louie on different rigs and techniques on how to successfully land those beautiful snook, fierce fighting snook. And then we've got the one and only Captain Zac Zachry, the snook slayer himself.
Oh, yes.
Mr. Longbeak. He is going to, I mean Longbeak like the snook, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
He is going to be showing you guys and giving you those secrets of the traits. So
that's it. It's able to get you a step up for being able to land one of those nice, beautiful snook. Yeah. One of my favorite edible fish.
Now, how long on we'll get into your airboat report here in a little while, but how long have you been noticing like the big trends and big schools of snook that you've been seeing? Like how long has it been going on?
I mean, honestly, ever since last winter, I have not had a day where I could not find a decent amount of snook. This has been actually one of the best seasons or best years of snook that I've witnessed.
Yeah.
You know, there's quite a few spots out there in the outer Keys and a lot of mouths of the rivers that I've been able to run by them every day and be able to see the same amount of snook.
I agree.
You know, whether they're from one end of the island to the other, but it's pretty awesome.
Well, you know, I go back to fishing that power pole tournament with Rick.
Yep.
We could not stop catching snook, and it was so aggravating because it was a redfish tournament.
Just need one red.
One red. But I prefer artificial when it comes to snook.
Right there with you. When you have that pop at the surface, when that fish sucks down that artificial, there's nothing better.
Yeah.
I mean,
What's that sound like?
I mean, it's...
Can you give us a demonstration?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, just louder. A lot more aggressive.
Yeah, no, I mean, and you know, whether it's top water first thing in the morning,
Yeah.
you know, throw in some jerk shads.
Miradine, whatever you may please.
Yeah,
They like it fast.
so I tell you what, before we get into any more snookery, let's go to a quick commercial break, and then when we come back, we're going to be talking about bag limits. We're going to be talking about
A few of the regulations to landing these things.
regulations and some different tips and traits on catching snook. So
Absolutely.
we'll be right back.
Vagabond dreaming takes me through the night, sipping whiskey by the river, living out of sight. 100 miles an hour in the fast lane, 100 miles an hour toward the light. Bending low when the sun does come, 100 miles an hour in the fast lane, 100 miles an hour in the fast lane, 100 miles an hour till I'm done.
Welcome back to Friday Night Fish Talk, guys. Welcome back to Friday Night Fish Talk. We're talking about some snook. Let's go over some bag limits and size regulations. Just,
Absolutely.
you know, if we're going to give you guys the secrets to catching snook successfully, you might as well.
At least be legal about it.
Yeah, most everyone knows, but there's a lot of misinterpretations, and you know, you got the Atlantic side compared to the Gulf side, so
Yeah, two different waters.
yeah, your slot limit for snook is 28 inches
To 33 inches.
to 33 inches. That is your slot limit. I think over in the Atlantic it's 28 to 32, right, Louie?
So is that...
Was he doing a dance?
I'm not too sure yet.
I'm just being energetic over here, you know.
Yeah.
So at that point, is that to the tip of the tail or to the fork of it?
Tip.
Tip of the tail.
Tip of the tail.
Full overall length, 28 to 33.
Yeah. And make sure you, because they have those
Oh, yeah.
pretty wide ones, so you
They
want to
do.
make sure and get it in there. But, and you know what, guys? The snook has made such an incredible comeback here.
Absolutely have.
Abide by those regulations. It's helped. Keep going with it. They're a lot of fun to catch. A lot of people like to go snook fishing
Oh, yeah.
just to go snook fishing.
I was going to say, even out of season, they're one of my favorite fish to catch. I mean, it's a mix of saltwater and freshwater.
Yeah, redfish and a bass.
But that's it. That's exactly it. You get a heck of a fight when you get the hit.
Louie, what do you think about a snook fight?
There's nothing that compares to it inshore. Nothing at all. I mean, a lot of us love to do it more than red fishing because they put on a show up there. You know,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
they chase jerk baits. They pop baits out of the water. You know, your pinfish is literally going nuts. There's nothing better than your rod. I mean, your rod's shaking in your hand before it gets bit every time.
Yeah.
When there's 100 fish in front of you and every single one of them wants to eat, there's nothing like it.
Yeah. You almost feel bad for the pinfish
Oh
sometimes.
man, I'll tell you.
Sorry, bud. Dinner.
And there's a bunch of different types of, live baits you can use.
Oh, absolutely.
Needlefish,
Yep. Needlefish is a great one. Creek chub. I know they love some creek chub.
creek chubs. Any kind of white bait, any kind of live bait. I mean, I've caught them on shrimp. Yeah, those nice big giant ones.
Yeah.
And what's really fun is if you get one of those big ones and you hook them back in the tail where they're like I do 4 shells up.
Right.
Where they're dancing.
Oh, yeah,
right?
they can stay on top.
And they're on top, and especially if you're on a cork and you're in a heavy current and they're on top, and then that snook is chasing them the whole time.
Good stuff.
I cannot wait till snook season. So,
Yeah.
and they taste delicious.
That's my favorite part.
Remember when we actually, speaking of big green eggs, while we're at Bush Home Services, remember when we did that?
When we smoked one up,
Yeah.
that was delicious.
That was awesome.
Absolutely. Like to do another one of those.
So, and then you can keep one per person. Mm-hmm. One per person. Now, I tell my charters that for conservation reasons, we do 2 per boat.
I mean, honestly, if you're going to catch a good legal size snook and you only have 3 to 4 people on board, that is a lot of meat.
Yeah, it's
A lot
comparable
of
to
meat.
a grouper fillet. Am I not wrong?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Right?
for sure.
Not right?
Yep.
Wrong? So it's up to you all. I mean, I'm the type of person that I'm only going to keep what I'm going to eat.
I don't like to freeze.
Do not like freezing fish. So
No.
there's no reason. I mean, but that's just me. It's
Yeah.
completely up to y'all. I mean,
Law's
there's
the law. Just stick with it.
exactly. And now we talked a little bit about live baits versus artificial.
Yep.
I'm artificial when it comes to snook. I really enjoy it. You are.
I'm an artificial myself. I enjoy the artificial on the sports side of it. If I know I'm just going out for meat, if I'm just looking to get my redfish, get my snook, and get home as soon as possible, live bait's probably going to be the quicker route to go.
Mm-hmm.
Those snook, the redfish, everything's going to want that live bait. But when it comes to that sportsman side of it, when you actually get out there and you fool that fish into eating a piece of plastic, that's a good feeling.
That's a good feeling.
Darn good feeling.
I'll tell you what, and Rick taught me something the last time he was here. Taught me something about my own area. I love when it happens. Mm-hmm. On low tides, I think this is kind of a cool way of targeting snook. If you get on Florida Marine tracks,
Oh, yeah.
and you pick out those potholes that are out by Fish Creek or in Fish Creek Bay,
Yep, Gray Mare
St. Martin's,
area,
Gray
yeah.
Mare, P Pass is a great area.
Absolutely.
Pick out those potholes on a low tide and either pull or get on a trolling motor on a smaller boat. Make sure you're not harming the reef or anything,
Yep.
or the bottom, and target those potholes, which Florida Marine Tracks makes it very easy to do,
Oh, yes.
and then toss in those potholes.
Yeah.
Something light. He likes using like a 3/8, or no, Jeff Page likes using the 3/8 jig heads.
Oh, yeah,
in-
the big heavy ones.
Yeah, and 2 foot of water, and
Yeah.
then he rips it on the bottom. So that thing's just diving into the bottom. And
Oh, yeah,
you'll
it leaves a whole mud trail behind it, and it gets the attention of those fish.
But that was a really fun way of snook fishing. So,
That's awesome.
I mean, nothing beats incoming tides, big water for snook fishing. Basically the same way with the currents. You're fishing a little tighter to the mangroves. A lot of times, if you're out there trying to sight cast, look underneath of those mangroves.
That's where I find them all the time on the airboats. Typically when I'm just doing my drift, talking about the ecosystem that we have, 10 feet away from the mangroves, you look out, all right, no fish, and all of a sudden it's like a whole wall of fish just come out of the root system.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool how many of them just sit back in there just hiding.
So, all right, well, I'll tell you what, we're going to do another commercial break. And when we come back, I'm going to get to my favorite part of the show, watching Captain Louie over there talk about tackle on the table,
Like it.
the Bush Home Services,
At
tackle
Bush
table
Homes.
talk at Bush Home Services,
Presented by Bush Home Service.
presented by Bush Home Services. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, Captain Louie here at Bush Home Services, doing Tackle Table Talk presented by Bush Home Services. We're going to talk about snook tactics, snook tackle. You know, Gary and Billy, they like to talk a lot about how many snook they catch, but let's be totally honest here. I catch more than they do. All those fish, the big starting point in snook. So when you pull up to your spot, there's 2 fish that are going to be on that bank or on that spot. There's going to be fish that want to eat, and there's going to be fish that don't want to eat. When you pull up to your spot, the fish that want to eat are going to be off your point. They're going to be, you know, you're not going to be able to see them as well. They're going to be in the current on an incoming tide. That fish that doesn't want to eat is the one that you're going to see. He's going to have a black back, the same ones that's under the bushes coming out. Those aren't the ones that you want to target. You want to target the fish that are out there on the flat. Those are the ones that are eating. Those are the ones that are in the current, ready to feed. So how I pull up to a spot far, far away where I know these fish are going to be sitting, and I'll throw, you know, I like to throw live bait first. Pinfish, a pigfish is probably the best bait there is. We always start, you know, everyone says circle hook, J hook, which one's better? I like to use a circle hook. Some of my other guys like to use J hooks, but we're stepping all of this stuff up because these fish are a little bit bigger. You know, there's chances of catching a 40-inch fish in these schools. That some of the fish that I saw today, looking around some of my spots, were massive. So 5/0 J hook, 6/0 circle hooks, 50-pound leader, and we're putting, you know, you want to put 5 feet, 6 feet of leader, almost like your mangrove snapper fishing. You want to put as much leader as you can on that rod. I like to beef everything up. So when we say that, we're going to beef our rod, our reel, line, hook, everything. So we're going with a 5,000, just nothing crazy, a 5,000 reel, 20-pound braid instead of 10-pound braid. You still can cast just as far. It's nothing, you know, it's not going to hinder that at all. But 50-pound leader. Some people talk about tying an FJ or you know, crazy knots that take a whole lot of time to tie. I tie a straight up uni to uni. Try to not make it too hard to do. But a 7/6, 8 foot, medium heavy, 12 to 25 pound range rod. That's really what you're looking for. You want something that's going to be able to bring that fish away from the mangroves, but you also want something that's going to be able to bring that fish in quick, because in 90-degree water, you're pretty much, you know, sad to say, but you're going to be killing that fish if you fight him for 15 minutes or so on a small setup. Yeah, it happens, but you want to be able to, if that does happen, you want to be able to revive that fish for a long time, because a lot of times those bigger ones, those overslot fish, they can't handle, you know, 15 minutes of fighting in 90-degree water. But like I said, circle hooks are great, J hooks are great. I like to feel my fish out that day. Some days those fish are going absolutely nuts, and that J hook's awesome. You know, you're going to get that bite, that fast bite. You're going to get them every time on this. If it's a slower bite, I'll switch over to a circle hook. Your hookup percentage goes up for those slow bites, those quiet bites we call them, silent bites, where your line just gets that little tick in it, and that's your 35-inch snook that just bit your bait. As far as your bait, your hook placement goes, you're fishing in the current. So you want that fish, you want to hook that fish in the nose, in the top of the head. You want him to swim in the current. So I always throw my baits past everything, and then I'll reel my bait in, coming back to me. Pulling that fish, that bait over those fish gets them to go absolutely nuts. And I tell everybody, as soon as you hook up, fire a jerkbait out there. Be ready. You know, have a jerkbait, have a guy standing right next to you for when you hook one up on a bait, that you can throw that jerkbait right on that fish's head. As soon as you throw that jerkbait on his head, rip it across there as fast as you can. And the other fish that are there are going to eat that jerkbait. There's nothing better than, you know, doubling up and tripling up on snook when, you know, it's all bam, bam, bam. I love grouper fishing, but it's way better when it actually gets to going on. But there's a couple other, you know, artificials that we use as well. You know, a Myrdine XL, you're a really good bait. You still want to bump your leaders up, but you don't want to put 50 pound. 50 pound for bait is probably best because you're going to be looking for those, 35 to 38 inch fish. Myrdines more for, your standard 27 to, or 28 to 30 inch fish. 40 pound leader, if you are getting crazy bit off, a 50 pound bite tippet or something like that will work. But working these things fast through those schools, cross those points, right? And don't be afraid to throw out a little bit. Everyone wants to throw against the point, throw against the bank, throw against the bank. Just trust me and throw out there a little ways. Sometimes the bottom looks a whole lot different than what it does, from the top. So sometimes the structure can be off the bank and, up there against the bank, it could be muddy, but there could be a rock patch right on the outside. Top waters as well. Billy loves to use these. Just the same thing. If you can put this out there early in the morning, late at night, I chose something a little bit, you want to put that under here? I chose something a little bit, darker on the top, lighter on the bottom. That way in that morning glow, you can really, really see that from up above. And I think as far as everything else, we were going to talk about some line. We have this new wind tamer in now through Finn's braid. You're scaring me. Through Finn's braid. This is 15 pound. I'm going to be using this next week, all week long, and then I'm going to have a report for you to see how it goes. Gary used it this morning. He used that 65. We're going to see how that works for groupers and stuff like that, but we're going to come back with you on a really good report on this Finn's 15 pound pink braid. So, and I think we're going to go to Gary now.
What is up, everybody? We're here with the man, the myth, the legend, longtime friend, Pat Sanders. He is the sales manager with Bush Home Services. As you are finding out today, your one-stop shop for big green egg products, fancy cooking equipment, pest control services.
Yeah.
Why don't you name off the list?
So big green accessories, if you will. Of course, we are a platinum level retailer of big green egg accessories, everything you need. Basic stuff like knives, spatulas, charcoal, of course. You always got to keep going back for more charcoal. We got your regular thermometers. We also have like the Egg Genius. You can hook that up to your big green egg, log in on your phone, control the temperature overnight. Can keep it at that thing will keep your smoker at 250 degrees overnight while you sleep. You don't have to do anything. Fan kicks on and off. So like I said, anything from basic stuff, spatulas, knives, all the way into the more intricate stuff, anything you need for all your grilling, big green egg stuff.
Good prices, too. I mean, you'd expect like a brand name like Big Green Egg to be super high prices, but this stuff is actually, it's good pricing.
Yeah,
like,
really,
it's not bad at all.
Really good bang for your buck. It's not outrageous. A lot of times you slap a name brand on something and you're paying a whole lot more for it than you should. Not the case. There is more expensive knives and thermometers out there than the Big Green Egg stuff, but not better. Big Green Egg is putting out top-of-the-line stuff. I use it all the time.
Now, where can we get one of those clocks?
Here, maybe.
All right, I tell you what, let's get back into Big Green Egg here soon. So now, growing up, Bush Home Services was the trusted name in pest control services,
yes.
Still to this day. But your all's whole army and arsenal of services have went up.
Right.
So name some of those services off for me.
Yeah, so, like you said, pest control for a long time. Everybody knows us for pest control, termite protection. That's how this company got started. Bush Home Services, Bush Pest Control. They go all the way back to 1967. This is third generation now of pest control here in Homosassa since 1997. Definitely started with pest control, termite protection, and then lawn care, which, we still do all of those things, but a lot of people might not know this, but we've ventured into a lot of other services, anything from fencing to pavers, landscaping. When I say landscaping, pavers and retaining walls are structural as well as, something nice to look at. But we also do, your regular aesthetic landscaping too, putting in plants, trees, bushes, refreshing your mulch, rock, things of that nature. We are full-service irrigation company. Outdoor kitchens we custom build as, you know, minor or major as you need them. You know, they're custom built to your needs. So yeah, there's a whole very vast number of services that we do. Home inspections. You know, we've recently gotten into doing home inspections as well for buyers and insurance companies. And then, you know, of course, the Big Green Egg stuff. Big Green Egg stuff is great. They have like a cult following. I think people come from like all over just to come in and hang out in the shop. And fun story, if you've never cooked on a Big Green Egg, don't let it intimidate you, because my first time ever cooking on a Big Green Egg was in one of our Big Green Egg Fests. We do a show every year where, you know, there's demonstration cooking, and, you know, people are cooking for prizes in its team. And when they asked me to cook in it one year, like, I don't know, I've never cooked on a Big Green Egg. I don't know if that's something I can do. And crash course, and I got some pretty high scores. You know, that it came out pretty well. And ever since I got a Big Green Egg at my house, I haven't even opened my regular charcoal grill. There's nothing like it.
Oh no, I think that's one of the best cooking investments that we've made. Like, it is incredible the way it cooks. Zach is over here. I see him checking out, you know, these Big Green Eggs in his nice fancy apron over there. So
With a Bush beer.
Bush Beer at Bush Home Services. So, you know, Zach is a major cooker dude, right?
I can tell he was trying to wheel this double XL out of here before the show started.
Out of all of them, that's the one I want right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
Do you want us to load it up in the back of your truck?
I mean, heck, you can,
Leo,
a big
can you
bag.
go ahead and write an invoice to Zach?
look at the cooking surface on this thing. I mean, it is crazy. All stainless steel. Nothing's going to go bad on you. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. And what's really cool is it's got these little shelves here
Yeah.
you can use for, you know, prep and everything like that. Even if you didn't have, you know, your table, which if I got this, you'd have to have it sunk into a table.
Got to have it
for
sunk
sure.
in the table.
And then you can just, you know, pull it right out and get it out of your way when you're taking your stuff off the grill. It's really, really cool.
Now, Pat, you were telling me that the double XLs are discontinued now, right?
Yeah, I believe they are. So what's out there is, that's it.
That's it. And this is the last one you have.
This is the last one we have in the store. Yep, absolutely.
All right, so you guys can start lining up at what time?
8 a.m. on Monday.
8
We'll
a.m.
be
Monday.
here.
You can start lining up to get the last double XL in the world.
Luckily, I'm off on Monday.
There we go. Perfect. And then, you know, we're super excited, Pat. You guys are going to be redoing our whole entire fence line.
Yes.
Really excited. That's
Yeah.
going to really help out with our security, overall looks of the marina. But, you
Yeah,
know,
you're going with, I believe, the 6-foot commercial chain link out there, which is a good application for that. But we do all kinds of fencing: chain link, vinyl, aluminum, all of it.
yeah, and we're getting the upgraded barbed wire and the shocking,
Yes,
Right.
absolutely.
I think
Yeah,
you're
full
on
electric.
razor wire.
razor wire,
that's what I
shocking, and then that laser device that comes with it too.
Oh, yeah.
Cut them right off of the ankle.
Gets hot quick.
Awesome. So guys, do yourself a favor, come down to this incredible showroom. That, I mean, where we're doing the main filming inside, that is like something going to, I don't know, one of those golf course events, and they have the KitchenAid setups and everything.
Yeah,
It's,
we have a full showroom. You can see the outdoor kitchens in here, all the egg accessories, our local honey. And then we also have an outdoor showroom as well, shows some of the pavers, water features, other things that we can install as well.
now, I think we're out of this at the marina, which we need to do another order.
You have one left that's about this big.
Dude, this stuff's incredible.
It's the best. It's the best. I started putting it in my coffee, and I can't stop. I drink it in my coffee every morning.
Really?
Yep.
No, it's, I mean, I don't know. I like cooking with it too.
Yeah, yep.
I cook with honey.
So this, the only problem with this one, it's gonna be too big to try to sneak out of here. So, no, thanks for having us tonight. Really
we're a proud
appreciate you guys.
sponsor.
Hey, partnership, brother. Appreciate everything.
Absolutely.
So, all right. Well, there's the man behind, Bush Home Services. He takes care of y'all needs. If somebody wants to reach out to Bush Home Services to set up an estimate, how do they go about that?
So you can give our office a call Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, 352-621-7700. We're in the office Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Like I said, anything you need to see us out for, whether it be pest control, landscaping, fencing, free estimates. We're happy to come out and see you and talk about any of your needs.
Awesome. Cool beans. And the estimates are real easy to do, and Pat makes it self-explanatory, quick quotes, Trust me, guys. Go with Bush for all of your home services. So, all right, we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and then are we doing a commercial break? We're going straight into Extreme Decals, aren't we? All right, let's go to the Extreme Decalz Catch of the Week. I think we have a good lineup. So, Captain Carter.
That looks like Captain Carter Wade's trip from sometime this week. Bunch of nice redfish.
He has been slaying those redfish.
It's Casey with a flounder that looks like it's the size of a grouper. That's one of those rock hopping trips that me, Zach, and Casey love to do. That's Kerry Gibson, some nice scallops. He's actually been going a lot further than a lot of us and getting a whole lot more. That is Jacob with Ozello Fish Company.
Captain Jacoby.
With a bunch of over slot fish. He was the one that was complaining this week about not being able to catch slot fish.
Yeah, he was too. There was a lot of fish to be caught, but nothing quite in size.
Yeah.
There we go. Tonight. Speaking of
Very
snook,
nice.
Nice snook.
Jessica catches a lot of snook.
Yeah, she always does too.
That TV's all turned around.
Nice.
Snook season's coming up.
I'm so
September
excited
1st.
for snook season.
There's shots of me and Dad and left on. Oh yeah, scalloping fishing
Nice.
trip.
Now, what would we call that? Typically, an inshore slam was something else, but that was a clam slam?
Slam.
Clam slam.
Clam slam. I think that'd be a
The clam
scallop
slam.
slam, but sure.
Yeah.
A
Only
big old
keeper of the
grouper.
day. Only one.
You didn't
Yeah,
get that?
grouper.
Yep.
There it
I
is.
couldn't
Keep
get
that
that one into
Goliath.
the cooler, though.
Grouper.
It wouldn't fit.
That one's little enough. You could have thrown him in the cooler.
I
Yeah, he
tried.
passes as a
I
bag.
really did try lifting his head out of the water for a better photo. And I
They're
think
stout. They're
we go to the next
heavy.
one. That's as far
Yeah.
as I got.
Yeah, they're a heavy fish. They stink. They
Time to go to the gym, Gary.
Let's just say there was no other fish on that spot, though.
no.
That was shallow, too. That was only 12 foot.
Yeah.
Catches of the week right here.
So.
Well, you didn't have to laugh that hard, Louie.
I know I'm a catch of the week, especially with this apron on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you look great with that air.
Sharp. Kind of like how thick it is, though.
I know,
It
it's
doesn't seem
nice.
like you could actually burn yourself through
You probably
it.
weld in it.
Ultimately.
Don't do it. But
Yeah, wouldn't recommend it, but you probably could. All right. Let me see that.
I think y'all are going to talk about fishing reports.
It is the time for a fishing report. Captain Zach, how was it out there this week?
phenomenal.
Yeah?
Yes, lots and lots of redfish, lots of snook, a couple trout here and there. Basically, like I said last week, did we go over a fishing report last week? I can't remember.
I wasn't
Anyways,
here last week.
So any of those outside points, guys, look for mullet, not necessarily jumping, but just a lot of mullet in the water is what you guys are going to want to be looking for, all right?
There's a lot
Yes,
of mullet out there.
it's ridiculous.
Yes.
Today, I was throwing strictly pinfish on a 3-aught short shank, like a live bait hook, about, I would say, 3 feet of between 20, 25 pound fluorocarbon. And we absolutely wrecked the redfish today. It was
Nice.
absolutely amazing.
Heard you all found a good school of them out there. I'm pretty sure I know exactly where I found you.
Don't say it.
I won't.
Don't say it.
The
So-
benefit of being the airboater.
Yeah, we were over there off Mangrove Point. So
He's on the
regardless, me and one of my good friends, Carter Wade, he actually called me over to these fish. Pulled up. He was doubled up. I pulled up there. We cast out, doubled up, and then we had 20 minutes of nothing.
roof.
And I'm like, what the heck's going on? So I climbed up in my tower,
Had to get that skyrise view.
look off the back of the boat, and I swear to you, there were between, I'd say 500 and 700 redfish behind my. I'm not even kidding. It was crazy.
I can't deny it because I have found schools like that out there running the airboat, so I can believe it, but it's just
I
still
said,
hard
my
to
God,
fathom.
look, that's a huge school of giant mullet, is what I thought. And then I'm like, no, those are redfish. And so I'm normally really good with my clients. We're like, reel in. And they reeled up, and I grabbed the rod from the tower, cast right back, boom, hooked up one, passed the rod back down, grabbed the other guy's rod, threw it out, hooked that up. Oh man, it was great.
It's nice having that bird's eye view up there.
It was so cool. Really, really neat.
That's awesome.
You know, we're out there doing this every single day, and it's really neat when, as a guide, you turn around and you're like, jaw drop.
Yeah.
Like, that is amazing. You know, really, really cool. So that was a lot of fun. So basically, like I said, you know, that was 3 foot lead. It's really clear water, really shallow water. So roughly 3 foot leader with a 3-aught hook, live pinfish hooked to the tail. Make sure it's really lively. Flip them out there, and especially if you see those fish, pitch them out. Now, I've used jig heads on the back of those pinfish before as well, and I had one rod hooked up where I was going to try and hook one for myself to land.
Right.
And I threw a pinfish out hooked on a jig head. They'd swarm over to it, wouldn't touch it. They'd let that thing go right to the bottom.
Just
They
didn't
wouldn't
like
touch
that
it.
jig head.
They definitely could see it. So,
Yeah.
you know, with that scenario, guys, you definitely need to go as pretty much as low profile as you can.
So
You
stay
know.
incognito.
Yes, 100%. And, you know, Louie hit the nail on the head with the snook. You know, those that are pushed up right on the bank typically aren't going to eat much. Those that are right on off the bank, those are going to be your ones that feed. Snook season's right around the corner. He just went over all that, you know, great tackle you use. And his thing that he brought up with when you hook into one, don't just everybody reel in and watch the
Yeah.
guy land it. I mean, yeah, it's cool, but you'd much rather
Get
hook
a
into one
bait
yourself.
right behind it.
Yeah, and you could literally double and triple up on these snook because they're just gonna, you know, follow that fish. And on top of that, even when you're hooking redfish, guys, this time of year because they're in big schools, just slowly reel them in. Take your time, have fun, bring him in, and have your buddies that are with you get ready because you're literally gonna see a school of redfish following that redfish, and you're gonna pull up. And I mean, one of them we doubled up on. I mean, I literally threw it 6 feet from the boat, and you got a, you know,
Oh, yeah, they're
24,
in
25
feeding
inch
mode.
red, boom, nail it. So cool.
Absolutely.
Really, really neat. Trout are going to be still out on that Golden Bottom area, basically up and down the coast, throwing a white fluke, just like Louie was showing for the snook, nose hook. It's not like on fire, but you know, you guys can definitely go out, catch a couple shorts, catch a couple keepers, you know, kill some time in between the tides or something like
Somewhat,
that.
how deep are you looking to find them?
I mean, I've been running and seeing them in from a foot of water to 3 feet of water, so it's shallow stuff. You know,
You're not having to run
yeah.
offshore for them.
And I'm sure they're in bigger numbers offshore. You know, I'm seeing these guys posting online, going out to those rock piles, and they got a whole bunch of grunt, and then they've got some random trout in there. So,
Yeah.
you know, they're definitely going to still be out there on the foul area. On the foul area, I'd be using a 1/4 ounce Jim's jig with a watermelon red Little John that's going to work really great.
Yeah, I love those watermelon.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter the color of the jig head.
Nah.
Sometimes I normally use pink because if it ain't pink, it ain't worth a stink, you know. So, but other than that, that's pretty much got my fish report wrapped up.
Nice. I'm on the same boat, you know, running the airboat out there. Still finding a lot of fish running through the mouths of the rivers, getting out there towards the reef area. It seemed like the further I pushed out the reef, the better the fish seemed to be. You know, I did a couple of nice drifts today, went right along some of the mangroves right there in the center of the reef, and the amount of snook that are pulling out of that root system of those mangroves is just beautiful.
Oh, it's
getting
incredible.
to see those. And then a lot of the redfish on the fallen tide, they seem to be about 5 to about 15 feet off the bank. I know it seemed like the further the water was going out, the further they were getting away from the islands. Still, I haven't found anybody doing it, so I'm going to repeat myself again. The biggest pushes I have seen yet are in the backwaters. I mean, playing through Game Creek, I've been running up on the airboat slide. We've had some really big tides out there. And on the falling tides to where the water starts to drop off land, I mean, absolute monstrous fish.
That's pretty cool.
I really want to see somebody out there hammering into those. I have a feeling
I'm
they
off
are well
Monday.
over slot.
So I might just hop on your airboat trips Monday with my little handheld and
Show
start.
you where I'm finding some
Get
big pushes,
spots.
because I mean it is some pretty cool stuff.
What's your average size snook you think you're seeing out there on the reef? Are they slot fish or a lot of them under? Or
The majority is probably going to be right at slot, if not under.
okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I haven't found any of the big slobs like I was finding during the wintertime. There's quite a few in the wintertime that just, I mean, I'm pretty sure they break poles.
They're probably still
humans.
out there, kind of like post spawn or something like that. Those real big ones, because I haven't seen any really big snook.
Yeah.
You know, I mean here and there, yes, but those schools of, you know,
Yeah.
36, 38, 40-inch fish.
I wish I
you
had
know.
the video. I had sent it to a good friend of ours today, actually, to be put on the show, but we happened to miss that. One of these days, we'll get it back up there where there's a pile of snook I ran over, and beautiful view.
That's pretty cool.
Yep. All right, we are going to go right back to Captain Louie and Captain Gary up there at the Table Tackle Talk. Tackle Table Talk.
Bush Mat Services.
So, Louie, I
Tackle
just
Talk.
found out
Something like that.
tonight's giveaway, and it's pretty sweet.
We just found that out. Huh?
Just found it out. Pat, the sales manager here, he just donated
Me a green egg.
huh?
He donated me a green egg.
Donated with the price tag, something about 5%
Yeah.
more. Yeah, I don't know. It was confusing, but
I'm a tough sell.
I figure if we got 30 of us, we could all cook on the same time. That's how big the
for
thing
sure.
is. So, but no, Pat just donated an annual pest control service for tonight's winner of the Reel of Fortune.
Wow. That's,
Yeah.
What's the price on that? We think.
$365,
Jesus.
Pat. That is
That's
an annual
amazing.
service.
Now that's a sponsor.
That's a sponsor right there. That is the Mac Daddy sponsorships. Being next to the water, it doesn't matter how clean your house is.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter if you pick up every single crumb. You've got those little river
Even
rats.
at Vinny's house.
At Vinny's house, yes.
Yeah.
And those big. I mean, we have those like, well, we used to before we got Bush. They look like a bunch of sandals running around with a bunch of legs.
Oh yeah.
But that's Florida. So, but tonight's secret question,
Which is a good one.
it's a good one, and it's something a lot of people don't know that you need or whatever.
For sure.
But we're going to go a little further in detail. I feel like we make these questions too easy.
Yeah.
So if you all have a secondary source to Google this, I would recommend going and break that out. But before we get into that question, I wanted to ask your opinion something.
Sure.
And I might have been in the restroom when you guys were talking. I don't know if you went over this. Snook. We all know they're real finicky, right? So the size hook matters. The size of the braid definitely matters. Like, I think I heard you talking earlier. Work your way up.
Yep.
Right. So, do you work your way up or work your way down?
Work your way. Well, it all depends on how your fish are acting.
Okay.
Exactly. Well, it's the big difference. If that wind's out of the southwest, their fish are biting.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which,
geez.
by the way, Louie did the complete same thing to me, but he said it wrong.
Okay, I'll
Yeah. All right. So we're talking the reef. So we're talking clear water, root background, 3-4 foot on an incoming tide. Light color line, dark color line for snook.
Honestly, I'm gonna go light.
Light.
I've been using this blue camo stuff. It's just because it's my boat colors.
Yeah.
But yeah, the light. So that bottom. I mean, you gotta think about it. When those fish are feeding, really heavily, then that tide's coming in the middle of the day. That sun's high. That light line on top of that sun, they're never gonna see it anyways. They might be able to see this a little bit, maybe, but it's all, honestly, it's personal preference. This throwing up into the mangroves, yeah, you're gonna want that more than you're gonna want this. The pink, the green's better in the mangroves. The pink's gonna be better a foot off the mangrove.
Gotcha.
So
All right. I was just curious. So, I'm excited to try this, and I think that'll look good
oh yeah,
on any spool. But the wind tamer, you're going to try it out this week, right? Mm-hmm. Cool beans. All right, let's get to the secret question, Louie.
all right.
So, everyone knows they need a Florida fishing license,
Yep.
saltwater fishing license to fish. Period.
Yes.
Not to harvest, but to fish. Period. You need a license.
Yes. If you're gonna be out there with a fishing pole, you have to have a license.
And it's real easy to get those licenses. You can go to myfwc.com. You enter your information. They have track of you, right?
Yep.
So what a lot of people don't know, to harvest a snook, you need a
Yep.
Permit.
Snook permit.
snook permit. Also, I call it a snook
Snook stamp.
stamp.
Yeah.
But online on myfwc, which you pointed out to me, it's called snook permit.
Yep.
So it's an
And the
addition.
reasoning, yes, and the reasoning for that is when you buy that permit, they ask you a few questions, they get research out of that permit.
Gotcha.
So that's the real reason, you know. They're trying to make sure these fish are going to be around for a long, long, long time. You know, just a little couple questions makes a big difference to some of these scientists.
And we might not always always agree with conservation stuff that they do, and FWC, some of the rules and regulations, or what they might not do sometimes. But for the most part, and the greater part,
Yeah,
they do a great job with conservation. They really do.
they do. They really do, and especially on these snook.
Yeah.
I went to my spot today that I will be September 1st, and I went around the island, and I said to my people, I've never seen this many in my life. There was 400 in, you know,
Yeah.
a 10 by 10. It was crazy.
That
I've
was
never-
that screenshot with the circle that Sean put online earlier?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now let's get into the question. So talking fishing licenses and then snook stamps.
Snook
Now you know
permits.
you need a snook stamp just in case.
Yep.
But
If you want to harvest them.
if you want to harvest them, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't. If you just want to go out and recreational,
Yeah.
catch them, you don't have to
Catch
do
and
that.
release. Don't worry about it.
I wouldn't say that you're targeting snook if you were to ever get pulled over,
Yeah.
but you know you need a permit. You can go to myfwc.com, add it on to your current license. But for an annual Florida resident snook permit, to add that permit/stamp onto your Florida State fishing license, how much does that cost? That is the question tonight. That being said, Louie's going to ask it one more time, and then we're going to go to commercial break.
How much does a snook permit cost?
For
For a Florida resident's annual saltwater fishing license to be added
annually.
annually, all year.
Pop, do you know? No.
And
We're going to go to a commercial break.
Hey Gary, what you doing?
Oh, just going through the book, looking at some dash panels.
As nice as that sounds, what if we went and did something a little more custom? Do you know anybody that might be able to make a switch panel like this?
Let's go talk to Brian.
I think Brian would be a good idea for that.
Cool, let's go.
It'd be sweet.
Oh, Brian. Hey, man.
What's up, brother?
Got a cardboard cutout. Can you make it into something for me?
Absolutely, let's do it.
All right. What?
This is our dash panel complete. Just wanted to throw a huge shout out to Brian up there at Extreme Decalz. Nailed it. This is exactly what I had envisioned when I drew literally a cardboard cutout for this to become a true dash piece and showpiece at the same time. Thank you very much, Brian. I'm super stoked to see this thing on the water.
All right, Pat. So, Brianna, first of all, thank you for donating that super awesome prize.
Oh, no, not a problem.
That is kick butt. I think Bree went ahead and put my name on the board too. But Bree's filling in the last spot. I see we have 13 out of the 14 that's answered. I want to ask a couple questions.
Okay.
All right.
Sure
There's so much stuff here. Okay. What the heck is this?
Stuff a burger press. That is, you can, ground beef, or if you're not the type to eat beef, ground chicken, ground bison, ground turkey, whatever. And then you add your grilled onions, your bacon, your cheese, whatever. Pack it in there, pull it out, and it's ready to go on the grill.
Sweet.
So a little bit less hand work. It packs it for you nice and neat. Even burgers, if you're making 5 or 6, or you're making them for your kids, one doesn't want a bigger or smaller burger than the other kid. Uniform.
I do have to admit, sometimes when you're packing patties, the stickiness on your hand, then you got to grab the seasoning, then you got to wash your hands.
Exactly, yeah, it's just
That's
makes it a
pretty
little
cool.
bit easier.
All right. What is this?
This is a vertical turkey or chicken roaster.
Okay.
You throw the bird over top of it. If you care to, you can put an open beer can underneath. The drunk chicken is a
okay.
favorite of mine. Yeah, that's that.
Okay, so do you have a horizontal?
No.
No, okay. That's all right. All right, last question. Why do you sell small gigs here?
Well, small fish.
Oh, for small people. Jordan, I found a gig for you.
No, this is just one of the many tools that do what the other tools do here. This is to help clean your cooking grates. This is one of the many tools that make everything else easier. There's something to help you clean the ash out. This is to help clean the cooking grates. The majority of these things really just make things a little bit easier and more convenient. And it's something that once you try it one way, you're like, man, why have I not been using that tool the whole time? Why have I not been doing that the whole time?
I was going to say, I've got something like that for my green egg. But it's like you could pick it up.
Yep.
That thing's pretty sweet.
Pull the grate out without burning your fingers.
And Big Green Eggs marketing, spot on.
Oh, yeah.
Eggulator.
Yes. Yes.
The R-Eggulator.
One of the many accessories that we sell.
Oh, gosh. All right, that being said, last corny joke of the night. Pat, would you do the honor of spinning the Wheel of Fortune?
Sure thing. We'll see who's the lucky winner of a year of pest control.
Before you spin it, whenever Louie spins it, it might make 3 spots. So if you could give it a good spin.
Give it a good spin?
Give it a good spin.
See what I can do.
Let's see. That was a good one.
And we have...
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
I'm going to say that's leaning Joseph G.
Let me tell you something. That is... So Rick, this guy right here, he's won a Florida Marine card.
Oh, wow.
All right. Last week, he won the set of cornhole boards that...
From
the Extreme Decalz.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
He's won all kinds of stuff. Look how close that was to falling on Rick. But congratulations, Joseph G.
Joseph G.
Is-
You won a year's free pest control. What that's going to do is that's going to give you 6 visits. Our guys will come out 6 times. The first time they'll hit the inside, the outside of your place, fog the attic, knock down the spider webs, not wasp nests, etc. And then they'll come back every opposite month after that, 5 more visits, and continue to hit around the outside. Make sure you got a good perimeter. Keep those pests outside, away from your house.
Boom. There it is. Guys, from Bush Home Services, Friday Night Fish Talk Studios, thank you all for watching.
Thank you.
Pat, thank you. Thank you to the Bush family. We really appreciate you guys for hosting us. And we will see you all next Friday. Now, next Friday, we've got this one's going to be a little different of a studio. Make sure you tune in. And we're going to have every single captain from Friday Night Fish, or from Ozello Keys Marina, present and drunk next Friday night for Friday Night Fish Talk. So we will see you then, and fish on.
Cool. Yeah,
That was fun. Good job. Good job.